Namaste. Welcome to another Hatha Yoga class with One Yoga. I'm Jamie. Let's begin with 3 Oms. Om is your signal, just like the crickets and birds have their signal, we have our signal. So send out your signal to join the universe. And let's take a deep breath first. And exhale. Let it all go. And then we'll inhale for the first of 3 Oms. And you can have your thumbs touching your heart chakra. You get a sense of activation there. You might find you prefer to put here by your third eye. Both are fine. And the opening mantra, which invites and evokes health, wellness, wholeness, and peace, among other things, all good things. Savyashyam svasthya bhavatu, Savyashyam shantiya bhavatu, Savyashyam purnaham bhavatu, Savyashyam mangalaham bhavatu, Sarve Bhavantu Sukhino, Sarve Santu Niramaya, Sarve Bhadrani Pasyantu, Makashid Dukkha Bhagaved, Asatoma Sadgamaya, Tamasoma Jyotir Gamaya, Mrityoma Amritam Gamaya. Purnamada Purnamadam Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamivavashishate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. In today's class, we're going to review the different pranayamas we've done in previous classes. We're also going to do the Wim Hof method, which is a beautiful one for boosting your immunity system. All of these pranayama and the mantra are what I would call state changers. You might arrive from home and you might arrive at home, maybe a busy day at work, or maybe you're stuck at home the whole day, but you're doing things. Sometimes you're working and sometimes you're playing, sometimes you're relaxing. When we get into a particular mood that's difficult to shift, doing mantra or do pranayama can be a really good way to generate your own state change in a quick way. So a pranayama that maybe only takes 2 minutes can just change the way you feel. Usually, by what it is doing is moving any energy inside you that is stagnant, so it's released. So it's kind of the equivalent of taking a cold shower or something. It just kind of interrupts the system. And just like the weather, sometimes we're in a good weather system and everything's beautiful, we're feeling good. Sometimes we get caught in like a low pressure, not feeling so good kind of weather system. We create our own energy with pranayama or yoga, but pranayama is a really nice quick intervention. It can be done even sitting down, and we change our own weather. We're also going to do salutation, and we're going to finish with some meditation at the end. using the breath, focus on the breath, and also when we're not breathing. So yoga, actually, the purpose of yoga originally when it was developed thousands of years ago, written down by Patanjali, was to create an ability to meditate. So it was to relax the body enough that a meditative state became a next inevitable state. So when you feel good after yoga, it's partly the endorphins and the energy moving around. It's partly that your body has been opened to allow yourself to be more present, to be more calm. This is the state we seek in meditation, and yoga helps to generate this state. Of course, it has all sorts of other physical benefits, from simply making us feel good in our bodies, to keeping fit, to promoting longevity as well. But the ultimate purpose of yoga is to achieve inner peace. So that's why we'll do this meditation at the end. So a little bit of meditation is great throughout your practice, and indeed meditation can be part of your, in a sense, like an app that is continuously running in the background. So if you do enough meditative practice or mindfulness practice, it becomes like part of your processor, part of your system. So we'll encourage kind of meditative state throughout this practice. So let's begin with some alternate nostril breathing techniques, which are the most basic form of pranayama, the easiest to do if you're on the bus or sitting at home, or maybe you're watching a movie. You can just do it gently and create a more calming experience. So again, as I've said a few times before, it's about extending your out-breath compared to your in-breath. This activates the vagus nerve, which activates our rest and restore nervous system when we're so often in our fight or flight nervous system. Even in our entertainment, when we play video games, it's like fight or flight. Sometimes conversations can be combative, fight or flight, or game shows. This is activating our rest and restore. Like imagining like a cat or a dog sleeping under a tree. This is the kind of feeling we wish for. So you take your right thumb, putting it on your right nostril. Your first two fingers can go on your forehead if you wish, if that's more comfortable. And your pinky and your ring finger is bent towards your palm like that. You can put your hand here. If it's easier, you don't have to. A more advanced technique for all these alternate nostril breathings is to just do without any hands. Try it now. Try breathing in your left nostril, out your right nostril. For me, it's definitely harder, especially with my right nostril. It seems a bit blocked, but it's possible. And with mindfulness, you can kind of develop this very subtle control of your breath. So do try that either now or another time. Let's begin. We're going to breathe in for 4. It's going to be a triangle breath. I guess it's like an isosceles triangle if my maths is correct. So it's going to be in for 4, holding for 8, and then out for 8. So 2 long sides to this triangle. So breathing in for 4 on the left. 1, 2, 3, 4. Closing your left nostril, holding for 8. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Opening your right nostril, breathing out. 8, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. In for 4, right nostril. 2, 3, 4. Hold for 8. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Out 8 left. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. In left 4. 2, 3, 4. Hold 8. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Out 8 right. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. In 4 right. 2, 3, 4. Hold 8. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Out left 8. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Your turn, count yourself. In for 4. And holding for 8. Releasing for 8. In for 4. Holding for 8. Out for 8. One more time. Holding. Releasing when you're ready. In for 4. Hold. Out. You can let your hands rest on your knees now. And letting your eyes be still. Your eyelids resting but not fully closed. And just observe the effect. What's the feeling you have now? Is this something you want to repeat? Is this something that your body likes? What's the sensation? Yoga is a science, and the science of observation of the self. The processes of the body, the processes of the mind. Always observing and observing the observer, observing the observer of the observer, getting closer and closer to our true essence, our timelessness. So with this and all alternate nostril breathing, we begin on the left and we finish on the left, and this helps us calm. Maybe you could feel quite calm right now. The purpose of this pranayama is to make us calm, to balance our right and left hemispheres, which I guess in psychological, physiological terms are our more logical aspect and our more intuitive aspect, or our emotional intelligence, emotional processes, and more our analytical processes. And if we have a good balance of both of these, then we usually feel quite comfortable. Let's do the next one, which is Nadi Shodhana, and again it's breathing in, holding, and breathing out. You can do these in any multiples. The numbers are not really important. It's about your body. These are suggestions for like the right kind of intervals. So it should be 4, 16, 8. You can do 5, 20, 10, 6, 24, 12. You can do 2, 8, 4. Doesn't really matter, it's about the proportions. I know a yoga teacher I know in India, he never counts. He just feels. But of course, it's good to know a structure before you can step away from it and feel safe. So for this one today, let's start with 4, holding for 16 and out for 8. And I don't know about you, but from my experience, especially when I first began this, when I first began holding my breath for more extended periods, I would feel a kind of panicky feeling in my chest, and my body was kind of going, hey, you want to breathe, I want to breathe. When am I going to breathe? And my body has no idea when I'm going to breathe next. My body doesn't know if I'm ever going to breathe again, and probably that's what it fears. So this is a beautiful exercise, I think, between the relationship with our mind and our body, or our mind and our purpose and our choices, and our ability to self-soothe, and our physiological state. You know, we often feel fear as animals. We do. We love life and we fear death. So being able to play with this anxiety we feel at the absence of breath, which is probably fear of death at the end, we can develop a more kind and loving aspect towards our fear, and also teach us that we don't have to be as afraid as we feel, that we have some choice and mastery over how we feel. So let's begin with, again, it's the same position with your hands here if you wish, and of course you can do with no hands at all if you'd like to try that. So we're breathing in for 4, always on the left to begin with. 1, 2, 3, 4. Really deep, nourishing breaths, and holding for 16. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 8 out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. In, deep, nourishing breaths. 2, 3, 4. Hold 16. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Out. 8 left. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. In. 8 left. Sorry, in 4 left. 3, 4. Hold 16. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Out. 8 right. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. In. Right. 4, 2, 3, 4. Hold 16. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Out. Left. 8. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. In for 4. Hold for 16. Out for 8 to the right. In for 4. Hold for 16. Out left. 8. Now you can continue with in for 4, holding for 16 and out for 8, or you can do more, go for a 5 or 6, depending on how easy it is for you to hold your breath. one more round of whichever you choose. So the last one, finishing on the left, when you're finished on the left. And always coming back after you've finished on your left to the hey, how are you? Resting space. Observing. There's a beautiful meditation by a man named Jack Cornfield who is one of the main practitioners of Western Buddhism in the United States. And here's a meditation which is simply asking, how are you? How are you? How are you? So how are you? And again, if one of these pranayamas is something that you enjoy, then it's an invitation to make it part of your daily practice. And, all you ever need is time for one round, which is, I guess, about 1 minute and 15 seconds. So let's now, just to warm up our bodies a little bit, since we've been sitting still, invitation to stretch out the front of your back, especially if you're joining us in the morning. Really stretching out, keeping your buttocks on the floor. I notice I always go left first, so today I'm going to go to the right first. Nice to surprise the body. And back to the front. Crawling with our fingertips forward, forward, forward. Keeping our buttocks on the ground. And having a couple of deep breaths there. Deep into our belly, a 3-part breath. Filling the belly, filling the lungs, filling the clavicular area, the top of the lungs. And letting go of those in turn. And one more. And now stretching out our backs a bit more. Sideways stretch. Again, we want to be turning our heart up to the ceiling or up to the sun if you're outdoors. You can bend your right elbow, create more space, and always keeping that left buttock on the floor. The left arm is neither collapsed nor really strained. Imagining it's being lifted up by strings that are softly pulling it, holding it in place rather than yanking it. And then breathing in, allowing the weight of your body to shift. And we'll do the other side. See how you are doing with this compared to the very first time you did this, which may have been on the Hatha 1. maybe you did it before. How does your body feel doing this position compared to back then? Now we're going to do just an opening position on the floor to open our chest a little bit more. So lying face down on the floor. Just putting our right arms out at 45 degrees. Turning to face your fingers of your left hand. Bringing your left knee up. Your left arm up. Looking at your fingertips so your eyes are pointing towards the ceiling. Really feeling that stretch on your chest and opening of your lungs. And if you like, you can shift your knees up, both pointing towards the floor, ceiling rather. And you might feel quite a stretch on your shoulder and your chest here. So be a little bit careful, be a little bit gentle. If it's too much, you have one leg stretched down like that. Or both legs flat. 3 more breaths. And again with the left arm, not pointing up and not soft, but just imagine it's suspended by a string. And we're going to shift positions, so again flatten our bellies. Left arm 45 degrees, turning to look at our right hand. Quite twisting with the hips. Right knee goes up. Look at the fingers of our right hand. And if you can, or if you wish to, turning with both knees facing the ceiling. Be here another 20 seconds. Coming onto our bellies, pushing up onto our knees, and just a little more warm up, putting our weight over our wrists, so fully onto our wrists and fully back onto our knees with our buttocks back over our hips. Really getting that sense of motion. And then rotating the other way. Opening up the shoulders, opening up the chest and the hips. And then coming back to a seating position for our next pranayama, which is Bhramari, humming breath. So humming breath is a beautiful way to uplift the mood and wake up the brain. So if it's late at night for you now, and if you have trouble sleeping, it's maybe not a good idea to do this one because it can be quite activating. Any time before 6, 7 p.m. is absolutely fine. So for this one, you can have your hands in chin mudra, like this. You can have your hands like this. In heart position. And we're simply breathing in, and when we breathe out, we hum. And you can allow the hum to come from wherever in your body you like, and to go to anywhere in your body you like. Sound waves will go in all directions when you breathe in, when you're breathing inside. So allowing that sound to activate and to heal and to touch all of your cells. We will complete with a short bit of silent sitting, and I'm going to ring the bell when I finish because you might be lost in your own sound. If you put your fingers like this, your hands in your ears, your thumbs in your ears, your hands in your ears probably wouldn't fit, and that will increase the intensity. So let's begin. And now's your chance. Maybe you've got neighbors around or family members. Maybe there's not, but you can just enjoy the humming and enjoy being a bit silly. When you're a kid, no one minds if they hum too loud, so embrace the inner child and allow the adult to break through any sense of embarrassment about doing something silly. It's okay. You can try putting your fingers on your eyes and your thumbs and your ears. Making sure your spine is straight and your shoulders are back. Allow yourself to keep present. See if you can begin the sound down in your pelvic floor area and let the sound travel up and out of your head, out of your mouth. Try moving your mouth in different shapes to see the effect. Humming to any parts of your body you're feeling tension. Allowing yourself to fall now to silence. Noticing sound and the absence of sound. Noticing the effect on your body and your state of mind. Your energy. How does your energy feel? Okay. I really like that one. I haven't done for a while. Let's do now dog breath, which is good for boosting the immune system. And I like to do this with Gomukhasana, which is cow face posture, which is basically put your left ankle, left heel next to your buttock. And you can kind of sit on that, and if you find your thumb, stick your thumb at your bottom, you'll find like a point that feels a little bit sensitive. That's like an acupressure point, and actually the purpose, the aim, is to try and get your heel pressing that point. So you're actually activating this point on your bum. If you can get your right foot back in the same place. So you're kind of sitting on your ankles. If that's not comfortable, by your side is fine, and you're absolutely welcome to use a block, and that's probably going to be necessary if you've not done much of this before. This is like good for strengthening and opening your hips. So Gomukhasana with the right knee stacked on top of the left knee. There's two ways we can do this. The first way is simply to have your left hand underneath your right hand. Your shoulders are up, back and down. Your chin is parallel with the floor. Eyes soft, lips soft. You can let the eyelids fall, kind of 3/4 way closed. You might find this is a nice meditation position for you. It is a meditation position. It's also a position that Indian musicians use to play the sitar. If you're feeling any pain in your knee at all, then it's good to take the weight off by putting something underneath your bottom. So this variation is going to be with our hands gripping at the back, like so. And if that's a bit much, you can use a mat, use a yoga cord like this. And a belt, anything like that is absolutely fine if you don't have a cord. And we'll do dog breath from this position. If you find this position difficult, but you want to do the pranayama dog breath, that's absolutely fine as well. So one of the benefits of this position is it activates your lymph in your groin and your armpit. And dog breath is just like it sounds when you see like a dog panting when it's hot. That's what we're going to do. So with your eyes slightly closed, you're just going to be panting, focusing on the out breath and let the in breath do its thing. We'll do for about 45 seconds on each side. You might find pulling your stomach in, so your stomach forces the air out. Deep breath in, release the arms. I usually do that until I feel a sense of rising energy, which feels kind of warm, rising up, and it's kind of passes my brow. And I interpret that as like it's maybe some kind of endorphin release. So let's do the other side. The cameraman particularly enjoyed dog breath. So we'll do the left side now. We can all join in. And yeah, if you've got any dogs at home, I'd be interested to know what their reaction is to this. So, opening our limbs. And again with the breath, pulling in the stomach to expel the air. The stomach bounces back and breathes in naturally. So focusing on the out breath. Deep breath in. Release the arms. Release the legs. Coming back to a cross-legged position. You might find it releases some phlegm in your chest. How do you feel after this one? Usually I feel a kind of brightness, such a similar feeling to doing Asana, the peacock pose, but it's like a rising heat that kind of seems to release something on my brow. I don't know if that's peculiar to me, or maybe it's something you're feeling too. You're welcome to comment underneath. And again, if this is something that feels good to you, it could easily be a practice, and do it for 30 seconds. One of the things I always notice after doing pranayama is if I do a mantra afterwards is my voice has changed. And it changes in a way that feels like I'm expressing from a deeper part of myself. So as an experiment, let's do a little mantra together. And this is a very short one, and you may well be familiar with it. It's quite a famous one. And it simply says, in English, may all the beings in all the worlds be happy. And Lokah Samastah Sukhino Bhavantu. And I'll write the text so that will appear in the video. Lokah Samastah Sukhino Bhavantu. Lokah Samastah Sukhino Bhavantu. And we finish with Hari Om Shanti Shanti Shanti, which is peace. With these mantras, we do 3 times or 9 times or any multiple of 9. According to Hindu tradition, or to yogic tradition rather. And for me, I don't particularly understand why they have all these traditions, but it seems to work for me, so I do it. So, invitation to do this mantra together, partly as an observation just to see how our voices feel, how our bodies feel. So, deep breath in. And let it out. Hands, chin mudra or heart. Start with an Om. Om Lokah Samastah Sukhino Bhavantu. I'd recommend pausing, watching again, and wait till you've got it, and then you can join in together. Lokah Samastah Sukhino Bhavantu. Lokah Samastah Sukhino Bhavantu. Hari Om. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. How was that? Any difference? So these mantras do 2 things, as far as I believe, is they give the occupier part of the brain, so it gives them something to do. It occupies monkey mind. So it gives the brain something to do that allows peace to arise naturally. And the second thing is the melodies and the words are almost like a PIN code. You have a PIN code for your bank account. These have a PIN code to these particular feelings. In fact, there's a belief that the words and the sounds came before the words had meaning for many of these mantras. So they're actually, the evocation of peace is a peaceful sound. In other words, that Shanti is thought to be simply a peaceful sound that became known as, or it evolved into having the meaning peace as a word. I don't know if that's true or not. What I do feel is when I do these mantras, I feel peaceful and I call for peace. Whether that's the power of intention or something special and integral to the mantra is a mystery. Okay, next pranayama is Prana Buzz, which we've done one time before. And with this one we have our hands on the ground really firmly, and this one we can make ourselves a little dizzy, so it's good to keep really grounded here. So make sure there's nothing sharp or hard that you're going to fall against. If you sometimes get dizzy in pranayama, for example, if you got dizzy during any of the pranayama we did today, maybe watch this and don't do this. And have a pillow behind you if you need. What we're going to do is we're going to do what's called 3 clearing breaths, and that's simply breathing in through the nose and cannonballing out through the right. Like that. So we're going to start with 3 of those breaths, which looks like this. So it's quite vigorous. So this is I kind of think of it like an espresso of pranayama. Maybe Wim Hof is more like a nice big cup of green tea. This is a bit like an espresso. Okay, so we do those 3 clearing breaths, and then there's 2 versions. You can either do 4 breaths or 8 breaths. We've done this before. We're going to do 8 today. If you've done 4 before and that was kind of your limit, just do 4. In fact, let's switch it up. We'll all of us do 4 to start with, then we'll mix it and do 8 for a second round for those people who didn't get dizzy. So 4 breaths in through the nose and out through the nose. The last one is we hold. So in a way it's 3 breaths in through the nose and out through the nose, and 1 breath we hold. So in, like that. And then holding the last one. And we want to draw as much breath as we can. We can draw in with our mouth as well. We want to draw into our genital region. We want to draw into our head, our skull. Imagine it's like oxygen around our brain, between our brain and our skull. Imagine we're filling our eyes and our ears and everything inside with oxygen. When we do that, we can get a little dizzy. So the 2 things you can do, either keep your hands here. For me, I find that a little harder to breathe. So what I do is go to chin mudra and just make sure my pinky is on the ground to keep me grounded. Or at least maybe you can actually have the 3 fingers on the ground. And that way you're putting a little weight. If you're going to fall, you might fall like that. You're less likely to fall backwards. I have fallen backwards once and I was fine. I was having a great time. So let's do this together, and we'll do Prana Buzz with 4 breaths to begin with. So firstly, the 3 clearing breaths in through the nose and then make cannonballing out through the mouth. The second stage is 3 breaths in and out through the nose, and the 4th breath in through the nose and the mouth, filling up your whole body, all your cavities, all the space inside, and we're going to hold for as long as possible. That'll probably be about 30 seconds I will do just now, but when you do it at home yourself, you can do as long as you like, holding for as long as you can, and then breathing out. Slowly just letting the breath just hiss out like an airbed with a puncture. Until you're completely empty. And when you're completely empty, you hold that for as long as you can. Again, it might be about 30 seconds. Today might only be 15 seconds. When you get better, you probably quite easily be able to do it for a minute. At the end, once you've done that, we take another deep breath in and hold for 15 seconds. Before that breath, it can be more comfortable for the body to go from 0 breath in here to going, breathe out a little bit, and then you can breathe in. Otherwise, it can be a bit bit violent on your body. I will remind you of those stages as we go, because I know that's quite a lot of information. So let's begin with our 3 clearing breaths, our 3 in and out breaths, and our 4th breath where we suck as much air in as possible. Hands in chin mudra. inviting your fingers to be touching the ground so you're keeping nice and stable. And just holding that as long as you can, and maybe noticing a tightness in your chest and seeing if you can kind of observe the tightness on your chest from behind your heart. Drop deeper into your heart. And when you're ready, just breathing out slowly, letting the breath go. Slowly, slowly, until you're empty, and holding that place of emptiness. Short breath out. Deep breath. Holding for now 15 seconds. And relax and normal breathing. Watching the body, observing the sensations. These stronger breath works can have a really good effect on the immune system. Deepening our breath, helping us be more relaxed in daily life. Let's do one more, and if you found that was like a good limit for you for today, do that same one again. And if you feel able to take a little bit more oxygen in, which makes it a slightly more intense experience, we're going to do 8. So either do 4, we'll do the same, or do 8, where we start again with 3 clearing breaths, but this time we do 7 in and out, and then the last one, the 8th one, we're taking all the energy in. And it is not just breath, of course it's energy, it's prana, or the Chinese call qi. and releasing. And with these powerful pranayamas, it's nice to do something called the microcosmic orbit, which we'll do in a second, as a way to integrate and move this energy in our system. Now just observing, feeling, and if you wish, you can join me in microcosmic orbit, where we visualize, create, or imagine. Perhaps we're doing all of these. A white light at the base of our perineum, base of our spine rather, our perineum area. A white ball, whatever size feels right for you. The right ball of your life force. And you can breathe that up your spine. And when it gets to the back of your head, you can touch your tongue to the back of your teeth. Let the energy pass through and pass over and go down the front of your torso, back down past all your organs, and then back up past your perineum, basically up your spine again. Let's do 4 circulations of this. Visualizing the white ball passing up your spine, the base of your head, touching your tongue to your back of your teeth, letting the energy pass through and over and down again. Breathing the energy back up your spine, over and through your head, and back down again. Last one. So we will leave Wim Hof for another day, and we'll finish with some meditation. So it's remaining in this position. Bring your conscious awareness to your in-breath. And allow your conscious awareness to travel with your in-breath deep into your body. So feeling the sensation of the air around your nostrils. And following that sensation with your conscious awareness down into the diaphragm, letting your tummy swell. And then noticing that the tummy falls back like a wave in the ocean, its own energy, its own momentum. And we can follow the out-breath. Follow the in-breath. Follow the out-breath. Follow the in-breath. And be aware of the space just before you out-breath. There's a space between inhale and exhale, between in and out. Let that space extend a little. And after the exhale, you'll notice a space before the next inhale. Observe that space. Extend it slightly. Inhale, space. Exhale, space. Inhale, space, and exhale with the space. Continue in your own rhythm. Extend the space a little more each time, each end of your breath. Perhaps you remember a feeling of last time you stepped into a place that felt sacred to you. Perhaps it was a man-made structure, perhaps a place in nature. Step into this space with the same devotion, the same reverence. This space, too, is sacred. The space between the in-breath of life and the out-breath of death. There's something else. Allow yourself to inhabit that space, whatever your self is. Continue to breathe at your own pace. The in, the out, and the mystery. Now an invitation to bring our hearts together in prayer position, Anjali Mudra. Our hands either at our heart sternum or at our third eye. Deep breath in and exhalation. Deep breath in for Om and our closing mantra. Asato ma sadgamaya, tamaso ma jyotirgamaya, mrithyo ma hamritam gamaya. Purnamada Purnamadam Purna Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamiva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Perhaps you wish to set an alarm to have a Savasana now for about 10 minutes, or as long as is good for you. You might wish to do the closing mantra again or close with an Om when you do that. Thank you for joining today's class. Namaste.